Welcome to another segment of Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. My name is Rick George, and today we're filming number 3 in a series of resiliency videos. This video that we're going to show you today has to do with manipulating the wheel on an air bottle to extend your low air. There are certain times where that's going to occur in their emergency situations. All of them are Mayday situations: lost, disoriented, trapped, running out of air. This is what this technique is for. We're going to take it in a step further. We're going to show you in a pseudo search mode, okay, to set up the scenario. Relatively realistic, not completely realistic, but it's just to show you the techniques. So in this shot, we're going to demonstrate doing a search very quickly. It's the vehicle that we're going to be able to use in this video to show while we're using this wheel technique. You notice that the door was left chalked open. It's so that we can have ambient light to be able to show on the video. Ordinarily, you can go ahead and close it for the flow path purposes. So our firemen find themselves on low air. They're coming in, they find an area of safe refuge. They close the door behind them. They're called a Mayday. For the purposes of this video, what we're showing you is the technique. They would have called a Mayday, they would have used their lunar, or whatever it is that your department would offer for an emergency and a RIT deployment. What they're doing is they're taking their packs and putting it in an area of position of comfort. They're going to control the pass alarms so that as the pass alarms start to activate, they can also shut them off. But what they're going to do is they're going to use the breathing techniques that they learned in an earlier video to be able to utilize while they're manipulating the wheel on the pack. The whole idea of this is to be able to control their breathing and shut off the vibro alert in this case, which is the low air alarm. Some have bells, some have whistles. This technique translates over to the same way. There is a sweet spot as you're breathing where you can crack the bottle and start to breathe without activating the low air alarm. So now you're robbing the pneumatic low air alarm of its air to be able to use while you breathe. Combined with the breathing techniques, it'll extend your air from an average. In my department, we found 6 to 12 minutes is the average on just trying to self-extricate for a low air. And these are the quarter bottles. And what we're seeing is consistent numbers in 45 to 55 minutes, in excess of 62 minutes at one time. So typically the first time they get it is about 20 minutes, but listen, you can't argue with success. We've done this hundreds of times, and it's translating into being able to extend your air. There is a caveat. The caveat is anybody can do it under these circumstances. So to incorporate this and to be able to become proficient at this, you have to incorporate this under increased degrees of difficulty to increase the stress. So you have to raise the ceiling to be able to become really proficient at this at a time where it's necessary. Your arousal levels are going to be very high. You're going to be sucking this bottle down as fast as possible because you're going to be scared and you're going to be tired. So it's imperative that you practice this under very calm circumstances until you find that sweet spot and you can manipulate the bottle and find the wheel without activating it. Incorporate the breathing techniques, which you can practice anywhere, at home, at work, while you're driving. You can do them anywhere, but the bottle, you have to practice it. And then during training, it's important that you practice it in increasing the degree of difficulty, which is what we're going to go over in another video. You'll notice that they keep resetting their pass alarms. There's a reason for this. You have to be able to monitor your radio, and as the team gets closer to you, you will activate your pass alarm. But the pass alarm does increase the arousal levels. It's also an irritant. When nobody is near, it's really unnecessary. So unless you hear somebody coming near you, you can activate it. If you don't have a radio, you can leave it activated. But under circumstances, depending if you have a radio or not, you're going to monitor your radio. That's going to be your lines of communication. And you will activate this as the team gets closer to you, or you can guide them in through the radio. But for training purposes, we have them silence it because it allows them to focus on it. It also makes them multitask. Stresses them a little bit. There's several functions that they have to worry about. One is the breathing technique. The other is manipulating the bottle. The third one is not activating the vibro alert. And then the fourth one is controlling the pass alarm. So we covered a lot of stuff in a very simple drill. It's not the realism of what's going on. You could practice this in your station, in your gym. You can practice it in your bay, in your day room, wherever you can put your air pack. And it's just manipulating the wheel. On the Scott packs that we use, when you turn them on, you don't even have to drain the bottle down. When you activate it by turning the wheel on, if you turn it on slowly, you can avoid the vibro alert going on. On the MSAs and some of the other packs, you can avoid the whistle or the bell from going off. And that's to help you find the sweet spot there. Then as you start to find that spot and you get proficient at the breathing technique that you're going to utilize, then you can start bleeding the bottle down and using it on vibro alert and time yourself. See initially how long it takes you. For example, our guys will get on a treadmill and they will walk around 3:0, but at a steep incline. When the vibro alert goes off, we keep the steep incline, we decrease the speed by half, and then we time them once the vibro alert goes off. We see how long the bottle lasts. That's where we come to 6 to 12 minutes. The second time that we do it with the exact same bottle, the exact same drill, the exact same thing, except this time when the vibro alert activates, they step off the treadmill, they call a mayday, they do their lunar, they get off the treadmill, they walk over to the side and they take their pack, put it in front, they go into their breathing technique and they start activating the wheel on the bottle. They first have to catch their breath in order to become proficient at the drill. They have to catch their breath. After they catch their breath and they start utilizing the breathing technique, that's when the time starts. And again, we're getting numbers between 40 to 55 minutes consistently. That's a big improvement over 6 to 12 minutes. We've done this hundreds of times. It is what it is, man. Give it a shot. I hope it works for you. My name is Rick George. Once again, this is Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. Thank you very much for joining us.